Welcome to Ruben Uncut. Today we're going to be talking about the band KISS.
Yeah.
Specifically, and we're going to be taking a look at a video that me and my friend Gato have not seen yet, which is going to be Gene Simmons on the Dr. Ruth show. So let's give some background here real quick. Dr. Ruth is an old lady sex doctor from the 90s and 80s and 90s who was a cute, adorable old woman who explained how to have sex good and was famous for it. I guess sex is just very non-threatening when it comes from an adorable old woman. But then she's going to have Gene Simmons on her show, who is a man known for his love of sex.
Some would say that he goes out of his way to talk about it so much, it's like he's almost never had it. But he must have.
He has children, and there's a sex tape of him having terrible sex. So at some point, he had sex. He has at least had sex 3 times that we can confirm. He has 2 children, and there's 1 sex tape. So that's 3 times we know for certain that Gene Simmons has had sex. Now, the alternative to this is that Gene Simmons just is obsessed with sex because A, he's probably a sex addict, and B, he was one of the members of the team who didn't do any drugs or alcohol, at least not intentionally. He, however, did drugs accidentally a good handful of times.
Yeah. Let's say I seem to remember his incredibly self-serving autobiography. I mean, that's saying a lot because it's an autobiography from a musician. So he admits to accidentally eating some weed brownies once. And like, he likes sweet stuff, so he ate a lot of them. And apparently someone at the party was like, "Wow, man, didn't know you partied like that." He's like, "What?" And I told him, and he freaked out.
Didn't you tell me also he once accidentally put cocaine in his coffee?
Almost did.
Oh,
So
almost.
one
Okay.
of the studio technicians was like, "Hey, asshole, you gonna pay for that?"
Putting cocaine in your coffee as in place of sugar sounds like a fast way to a heart attack, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, apparently he thought that, I mean, there was just lines out on a table, and dumbass Gene thought it was sugar. That's what his defense is.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was about to slide it into his coffee off the table, and someone stopped him. It's like, "Hey, no."
Well, Gene Simmons accidentally almost doing drugs a second time. All right. I'm going to turn on my camera now. Oh, it's tiny. Oh, whoops. Okay, yeah. So heads up. If you've been watching this video, you've already seen the following program has sexually explicit content. Also, my friend Gato is just off camera because he works for Squares.
Yes. They made me cut my hair.
He's very sad about this, and I did not immediately recognize him when he was standing on my porch in his "I would rather be following the Grateful Dead" T-shirt, which felt a lot like maybe how his first day at work had gone. All right, but before we started recording, Gato, you told me that you were telling me that Kiss was actually kind of special to you, even though you now recognize that they're kind of ridiculous people.
Yes. When I was like a little guy and starting to get like actually interested in wanting to play music, I heard, I don't know, I don't remember where I was. I want to say it was in my like my uncle was driving me somewhere, and he put on some, like a Kiss album, that because I'd only ever heard like Rock and Roll All Night before and thought that song kind of sucked, and then he played me some of their other stuff, and I thought it was fucking just like the shit. So, and this Ace Frehley is one of the reasons why I started playing guitar, and it's also why I have this totally not lame Ace Frehley tattoo on my forearm where everyone can see it all the time.
Except for his bosses, because he has to
Yeah.
wear long sleeves at
Oh
work.
god, yeah. I'm so glad the summers aren't that hot up here. It's still not gonna be fun though.
Yeah. because they're not cool with tattoos there, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like it's just a weird thing. I'm still figuring out how that place works. It's
Okay.
been a day.
That's fair. Yeah.
We only got 5 hours on the clock at that place. I don't think it's.
Hopefully one day you will find a place to work that's not so square.
I mean, that's the thing that all the people there seem really nice. Like,
Okay.
I didn't have any issues with any of them today.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, so that much is fine. It's just the making me get up at 5 in the morning. It's not going to be fun. That's really not going to be fun.
You know what you should do is your hair will probably. How fast did your hair grow in?
Very fast.
Okay.
Thanks to all the years of insisting on having a mohawk.
What? So maybe let it go and see how long it can get before someone says something.
Well, I that's the plan. Just because I don't want to fucking go to a barber shop anytime soon. Fuck, that was annoying.
That's fair. I have never been to a barber.
You're not missing a whole lot. It's just like I went to one of those like hipster, like trendy kind of places.
Do they use straight razors?
They do, and not one but two of the barbers while I was there had those tattooed on their neck. So like it's like, oh god.
Yeah, that's a barbershop gang.
Yeah, and there was a decorative bottle of whiskey on a table. That was like the first thing I saw when I walked in.
Fucking hipsters. You know what? Hipsters, you know what isn't like trendy or cool? Glamorizing alcohol. Everybody's done that shit. You're just following a trend. Take that, hipsters.
Surprisingly fast though, considering like more than half the haircut was just chopping off. Yeah, anyway, Gene Simmons.
Oh yes, right.
Yeah.
Got distracted by real life. Let's
But yeah, Kiss was very important. I used to think that they were the most badass thing ever, and like we're like, oh, these guys are so cool. Now, like I like the music, and it added layer of enjoyment is that they're all such weird assholes.
That's true. Gene Simmons seems like he would be the worst.
Oh, absolutely. Like without question.
Everything I hear about him is not good. Like he is an upsettingly mediocre human being. And yet he is also a famous rock star with tons of money. Meritocracy much? Okay.
Let's watch 80s Gene, who's in his 30s now, by the way. He's not some like, all right, I'm 22 and I play rock and roll. It's just like, I am an adult man who is in a band that is also a brand, and I am going to talk about doing sex now.
Yeah, so that's a good point. Like, had he met Scooby-Doo at this point?
Yeah.
Or is that a more like, did that happen back in the day, or is that a more recent development?
That's a more recent thing. They did have a movie, Kiss Meets the Phantom in the Park.
Oh, I've heard a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's bad. It's real bad, but it's funny bad.
Funny bad.
Yeah. It's long though, like way too long, or else I'd say we should watch it.
Sexual references and may not be suitable for all viewers. Welcome to the Dr. Ruth Show, coming to you from New York City.
With Dr. Ruth Westheimer and co-host Larry Angelo.
Dr. Ruth there in her.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Larry.
Hi, Dr. Ruth.
Oh, for a second,
Some shows are, I think, especially interesting.
For a second, I was like, that can't be Gene Simmons. There ain't no fucking way. Nice, Larry, apparently.
Some shows are especially exciting. I would say this one's going to be a little unusual. Do you
What's
know why?
happening? No?
Did you
Even then, they knew this shit was weird.
ever go to the big rock concerts with not only loud music and performers dancing, but smoke, puffs coming up on the stage and electric lights?
I don't think, first of all, it's such loud music that...
Well, it sounds like someone in the studio has tried drugs before. Unsurprisingly, Dr. Ruth doesn't party like that.
You can't talk, and I like to talk. No, I have never been.
Well, I'm glad you're here for the show. Good that you have this kind of program, because we're going to be visited tonight.
How do we feel about the fact that this woman has never been to a rock and roll concert or so, and she's about to meet Gene Simmons?
I mean, that was probably the whole gimmick for the episode. It was like, oh, nice old lady, a big annoying rock star man. I just wonder, like, there's tons of people they could have picked that would have been better choices than Gene Simmons, who's going to sound like what a first-year business student thinks is professional.
Like literally, this is a show about a woman who talks about sex, and he loves to talk about sex. Like so like he might let himself go far.
Yeah.
And do we think at any point Ruth might shame him for misogyny? Is it likely?
I mean, he's definitely going to present opportunities for her to do that, probably within minutes. I've seen Gene Simmons interviews, man. He's fucking disgusting.
Oh boy, now I'm excited.
By a man who was associated with a group that is just all of those things and maybe a little more, KISS. His name is Gene Simmons. He'll be joining us later on. Also unusual, you'll be dealing with a problem in therapy, which I don't think I've heard discussed on this
Probably
program.
to go to a therapist.
I see.
Okay. I should not have put pancake in my mouth. So, that guy just said the topic, and the video clearly was just fucked right there. And we do not know what the issue is. What are we about to walk into?
Well, stay right where you are. Dr. Ruth talks to Gene Simmons of KISS right after these messages. KISS.
That guy's too into it.
Do you know what time of the day the show came on?
Oh, I think it was like, I think this was actually like at 1 a.m. or something.
Oh, okay.
They had to put this show on late.
Welcome to Japan, Your Royal Highness.
Oh, 3-6. So come on over and watch us.
So is it just that everything on cable access looks like the 80s? Or this show just looked like cable access?
I don't know, probably both.
I'm serious. Tommy Wiseau.
Guess
He's played by Tommy Wiseau.
Now I really have made it on television because my next guest is a rock and roll superstar who has just made his 20th.
He's gotta love that. There's no part of Gene Simmons.
Oh, he's probably he's probably got a semi going right now.
Like
I'm hearing her say that.
Like look at this face he is making.
He's like, yeah, I am a rock and roll superstar.
Like he look like the only excuse for this face would be if someone was just super stoned, and he doesn't do drugs. Look at, oh god. Ah, god. His lower lip is significantly bigger than his upper lip.
20th record called Asylum.
Why? Did you see that?
Yeah.
He just basically like how would you describe that? Dribbled his eyebrow?
He, like fluttered his eyebrow. Trying to be charming, I guess.
Inside his mind, he's like, I'm gonna get so much pussy for being on this show, and I might get to bang this old lady. Gene Simmons, you're disgusting. There's nothing wrong with banging old ladies. I'm just saying that he's got a one-track mind.
Gene Simmons of KISS. Gene, you are so handsome.
That's very nice.
You look like
Dr. Ruth, really?
Please don't give him.
Don't
encourage him. He's already a narcissist.
He looks like Tommy Wiseau dressed like Andrew Dice Clay. Like if Tommy Wiseau and Andrew Dice Clay had a baby, this is what it looked like. Like I guess he's got a good job, but what's up with his face?
He was trying to be in movies around this time too, and I haven't seen anything that he's been in aside from Kiss Meets the Phantom in the Park. So, but I have heard that they are just hysterically bad.
I'm gonna have to see those sometime.
Like the guy every mother wants her daughter to marry. But here you are.
I assure you, Ruth, no. He is not the man that every. I know you only said he looks like the man every woman wants their daughter to marry. But the problem is that once he was married to them, he would start trying to bang the mom, and it would be bad.
A few years ago, with your chains and your spikes and your makeup. And now, is this the real Gene Simmons?
That's a great question.
Oh,
I
he
think I
looks a
should
lot
have a
better with
couch,
me.
though.
He looked.
To answer that, all right, the couch.
Would you agree? He looks better with makeup.
Yeah. Not just him. Every member of KISS looks cooler with the makeup.
Like, is Gene Simmons Italian?
No, he's Jewish.
Oh, okay.
Like, he was born in Israel.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, he looks like an Italian stereotype, doesn't he?
Yeah, a little bit.
Am I just imagining that? Okay.
Which we'll do later in privacy.
All right.
Right now,
long as we can take
is that the
pictures.
real
Wait,
Gene
what?
Simmons with those?
What was that?
Do later in privacy. The real Gene Simmons?
That's a great question. I think I should have a couch, though.
To
before-
answer that, all
yes,
right, the
to answer
couch
that.
we'll do later in
Okay.
privacy.
All right.
Right now,
Okay, I was very alarmed that Ruth was hitting on him for a second, but no, they're talking about therapy. They're talking about therapy. Dr. Ruben, I believe, is a therapist or like a marriage counselor or something, maybe even a sex therapist. But yeah, no. Whew, thank God. I was worried for her because he would jump at that.
is that the real Gene Simmons with those necklaces of dead people there?
No, they're not dead people.
What
They're
are they?
just little skulls.
Little skulls.
Yes, baby ones and big ones, and there's one on my finger.
Let me
Isn't
see.
that nice?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's the yuck is a good sign. Right?
Yes. Tell me why.
I don't know. Probably because a lot of people like you ask me why.
So it's a conversation piece.
Sure. It's the
Fine.
same way that necklace that you wear.
Because when people
Well,
ask,
I was joking. You know, when you said, look at that
Yeah.
necklace you've got on, I said, oh my God, look at that necklace you've got on. And
okay, but you like
it's
it.
just because people
Tell
are always
me
inquisitive. Me?
who, yeah.
Who am I? I think that this is a part of me, but it's not all of me. Just as you're not all of you. There are a lot of other faces that you have for other people, and so maybe this is just one part of the whole picture. And in another time, in another era, I may have looked differently. Maybe maybe I could have been a buccaneer. Or...
So like honestly, this is better than I would expect from him. I guess we haven't gotten to the sexual part. He sounds almost deep, but at the same time, is he really saying anything?
No. Yeah, he's it's Gene Simmons. Of course he's not saying. He's got multiple degrees according to him. I don't know how true any of
Wait,
that is.
that's got to be records for that. Where did he go to school?
I do not remember, but he says he has degrees in like religion studies and he actually is fluent in multiple languages. I've seen clips of him speaking German and Hebrew and stuff like that. But
So he's not incompetent.
yeah, he's not a dumb guy. He's just a very smug guy and
Just-
a narcissist.
And if the sex video is any indication, bad at the sex that he claims to love.
Yeah.
I guess when you're a rock star, you don't have to learn how to be good at sex.
I mean, if you just look at the lyrics, I mean, it's probably true of other bands that KISS spawned in their wake, but if you look at their lyrics, like they don't really say anything. They just say, yeah, sex. It's not like I'm really good at sex or anything like that. It's just like, yeah, guys, sex, rock and roll.
Although they do have a couple different songs about specifically anal.
Oh, they do. Yes, nothing to lose. And then I don't know. I've seen people say that's not the case, but I think Deuce is also about trying to get your girlfriend to do backdoor with you.
In fairness, I think Jim Morrison might have a door, like backdoor man. That's gotta be. What's he talking about there? He's talking about butt sex or like eating ass? Is that what Jim Morrison's talking about in Backdoor Man? I feel like that's what he's talking about. He has a line where he says something about eat your chicken, and I'm like, what is this? Has gotta be sexual. Of course, then again, Jim Morrison, also very horny man.
Yeah.
All right, let's see where Gene goes with
Who
this.
knows what?
They told me that you did outrageous things.
On
What?
stage or off?
No,
What
on stage.
Oh.
On stage. I don't ask personal questions.
Okay, probing, gently probing. He's trying to find the excuse to be sexual here.
And you know the things that Gene Simmons did on stage. This never changed for the most part. Just like stick out his tongue, wag it around, swing his bass like this, and then if he's got the face paint on, he'll do this weird clap like that. I don't know, because usually he has like a cape, so I guess he has to do that when he wants to do like clap along with our song, everybody. So, yeah, that's all he did was just stomp around in big shoes and stick his tongue out. And they're like, oh, outrageous. Just goes to show you how not that far this should come.
Yeah, no, at that point, people weren't used to rock and roll being even slightly outrageous. They had no idea what was coming. Imagine if you took someone from the 1950s or 60s and used a time machine to bring them to a Guar concert. Blow their minds. Blow their minds. They would also, if they were from the 50s, they would probably think that we had taken them to hell.
Yeah. Yeah.
On stage that you did some outrageous things like throwing, spitting on the audience, and they loved it. They all adore you.
Spit on the audience?
No, he like spit blood, like fake blood out of his mouth. I mean, some of that might have gotten on the front row, but he wasn't like trying to spit on the audience.
You think Dr. Ruth might just be thinking of all the stereotypes of outrageous rock bands she's heard?
Maybe.
Or there's some punk bands that spit on their crowd?
Yeah. I mean, when the crowd spit on, well, in England anyway, like the crowd would spit on the band.
Gross punks. Gross.
Yeah, gross English punks specifically. US punks didn't do that.
What is wrong with Britain?
Fire breathing and
And they love it.
yes, they love it.
Do they love it because it's unusual? Do they love it because you are handsome? That's really true.
That's very
Why?
kind.
Why do they love it? Why?
Dr. Ruth, please stop complimenting him. He does not need it. He does not. His hair is hiding how swollen his head is.
Why? What are all of these? What are all of these young people going absolutely
Crazy about.
crazy when you appear?
I think it's an outlet. When we get up on stage, they finally see 4 guys. The name of the group is KISS, incidentally.
Yes, I like that. That part I like very much.
Yes. But they see 4 guys, basically, who aren't content to pretty much follow the rules. All the people that they see in their lives who are supposedly hero
Which means
figures.
not wearing a tie, not
Yeah,
wearing
exactly.
a jacket,
It's
wearing
just-
a red...
So I will say that this rhetoric that he's like ascribing is rhetoric I've heard like from similar like later heavy rock stars. Like he's like some of this shit now kind of sounds like stuff I've heard Marilyn Manson say. You know what I mean? Like just about like, I mean, he's describing being like an anti-hero. Or like going against what society considers a hero.
Bosch,
Yes.
a vest like that.
just to be a little bit more flamboyant. And, you know, it's all my heroes were always flamboyant. Superman didn't wear loose-fitting pants.
The
And
ultimate conceit of this entire line of thought that he's on now is that he considers himself a hero.
You know, that's a good point. That is a good point.
glasses and a suit and tie. I mean, he flew through the air and did all that stuff. And
So it's a kind of an imagination of saying, if only I could do it, even if these people keep their feet.
Okay, look, people. The word they're looking for is theatrics. They're describing theatrics. So you make it a little extra theatrical with costumes and special effects and props. That's what that is.
On the ground.
Yes, I think it's very healthy. I mean, if rock and roll is an outlet for a certain part of the masses, it's certainly as healthy as football or anything else is for...
I don't consider football healthy to play or be super into. I'm so mad they just legalized sports gambling in Ohio. I think that's going to be terrible. What do you think? Football, is it terrible?
Yeah, definitely.
I know I'm gonna have to prove it.
Yeah, football is the absolute worst because I mean, all sports are boring to me for the most part, but football especially takes fucking 4 hours to get to the goddamn game.
Like they literally stretch 4 hours of game. They stretch 1 hour of gameplay over 4 hours. It's ridiculous. And then people say that movies are too long. All of football is just padding.
Another segment of the masses.
Yeah, in terms of watching and enjoying it and then going home and doing everyday life.
In fact, I believe if it wasn't for rock and roll, that there'd be a lot of people who would have this sort of pent-up stuff inside of them that they have to get out. It's almost like Dr. Yanov's scream therapy.
Yes, let me just elevate my position in society. Rock and roll is good for you.
Listen to my songs about sex and how neat it is to rock.
Yes. For these are the two things that I, Gene Simmons, understand. Sex and how to rock. The two most important things in life.
You know that stuff?
Yes,
we
I do.
read books, yes.
Yes, I do read some books, and I know about that stuff. Now, about the real Gene Simmons, I understand you're now making a movie.
Yes, in fact, it's done.
Like we were just talking about. I wonder if he'll say which one it is.
No, it's a movie called Never Too Young to Die.
Yes, do you try? Are you a different person there?
Yes, I play a different...
Have we heard of this?
No, but I'm gonna look it up now.
All right.
Sounds like a Steven Seagal movie.
All right,
I play a character whose name is Velvet, who is a very different sort of a character. Velvet is a hermaphrodite. A hermaphrodite is a person who's born...
Wait, what?
He plays
What? 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 Oh my God, it's on YouTube. Oh my God. Never Too Young to Die? He plays a hermaphrodite? What? It stars John Stamos? Is that John Stamos in it?
I think so.
He plays a hermaphrodite named Velvet. What? That's freaking wild. And you know, it's not going to be tasteful either because it's called Never Too Young to Die. And the main character appears to be, is that John Stamos? That has to be John. That looks so much like John Stamos. John Anderson, Robert England, George Lazenby. That is definitely not any of those people. Go to the IMDb.
Both sexual parts, sometimes different parts.
But now tell me, how did that feel? I see that smile on you. How did it feel to be a man and a woman at the same time? Was the upper part a man and the lower part a woman?
I had to shave my...
I did not see this coming. How have I never heard of this movie? Who is it? Is that John Stamos? Let me know when you find that information.
It is John Stamos.
Holy shit.
Chest.
Yes.
Which is only now...
He looks young enough that this is pre-Full House. Well, no, it has to be pre-Full House. Oh my God.
Brian Salisbury of Film School Rejects called Stamos' performance quite flat and dull. He seems as if he rolled out of bed and directly onto set without having read a single page of the script. He criticized the film's depiction of the punk subculture as inaccurate.
Oh wow.
Now I definitely need to see this.
Good Lord. That sounds amazing. John Stamos shares a screen credit with Gene Simmons. I can't, it's who, like, I mean, I guess it's connected to the punk, the hermaphrodite thing has to be connected to the punk scene in some way. Like, that has to be the implication. Like, it's just wild.
In a retrospective assessment of the film, Stamos has stated, it's the perfect midnight movie where people can come and dress up. It's, what's the term I'm looking for? The best, worst thing you'll ever see.
That's how John Stamos described it?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Now growing back, I'm much hairier than I am.
Okay.
I'm much hairier than I am. I am much hairier,
Then
usually.
you are right now, okay?
And they had facelifts put on. They stuck on, they shaved off my sideburns and they stuck on these little things so that, you know, that stuff
Do that
happened.
again, that looks cute.
And
so the upper part.
I can't imagine this is tastefully done. I cannot imagine. It's it's like
such a gross, sleazy dude.
like honestly though, I'm surprised that's a part he was like, yeah, I'll play that. Like he must, you know, the only thing I can think is he must really want to prove that he's got acting chops in some way. That's what I have to assume this was. It looks like a cheap exploitation film that tries to, that somehow is connected to punk culture. That is, oh man, that's incredible.
That was a woman.
the upper part, they stuck on things here, and then on the
Things
bottom,
there.
they put on a thing there.
This movie had come out today, the first thing we'd all be saying is, well, why didn't they hire a real hermaphrodite actor? And frankly, maybe they should have said that. Although, frankly, from what I've seen of the movie, arguably it shouldn't exist. But it's vaguely amazing that it does, as far as bad things go.
Okay.
No, actually, they didn't put on a thing
And did
there.
you
I had
make
that
love
thing.
to anybody?
Yes.
Did you make love to a man?
Oh my God. Is that so? There's a hermaphrodite sex scene in this movie. Yep, it's an exploitation film. It's an exploitation film. That's let's find out if he had sex with a man or a woman or both.
Men, or did you make love to a woman?
It was a woman whose name was Vanity. It was more of a rape, though.
I don't like that part.
Ah! What? Oh my God. What? What the? Oh, yeah. No, this is totally B movie exploitation shit. Where, oh my God, he rapes a woman as a hermaphrodite. Oh my God. Holy shit. Can we use this to cancel Gene Simmons now? No, it's probably too late. He's already rich.
Yeah.
And too many boomers love him. Because it's largely boomers and Gen Xers who grew up listening to him. Oh my God. I was dead on the money when I said it won't be tasteful. It's not tasteful at all. Who directed?
No. Well, it was.
Wait. There were some big names on that poster.
Yeah.
And they are associated. The fact that they are associated with this movie is a little mind-blowing.
Says the director is Gil Bettman.
Probably a fake name.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. I will only use this name in the future.
The genre it has listed is action.
Well, it is called
So
Never Too Young to Die. Is that what it's called?
yeah, and they're holding, pistols on them.
Like, are they meant to be high schoolers?
I don't know.
Is the point that kids are gonna die in this movie? Because that's what it sounds like. I mean, did they wait? Did they think that sounded punk?
Probably. Dude, probably.
I mean, I guess a little bit.
It was a
Understand?
movie.
Yeah, that's, but I don't like rapes in movies either.
Yes.
Gene, I understand.
Good point, Dr. Ruth. Good point. Some people aren't gonna enjoy that. It sounds like Gene Simmons had fun with it, though. Jesus Christ.
That you mimic me? Let me see that. I understand that
On the-
you on the road in order to amuse yourself and your
Well,
friends.
whenever we do sound checks, a sound check is before anybody's in the audience, before 20,000 people come in. We get up on stage and we test out the instruments. And so I have the sound system. And so all the road crew gets up and they're working, and of course they stop when I do you.
Let me hear.
When you go to the restaurant, I want you always to make sure that you have a cucumber, a nice long one and a fat one too. And what you do with this is you open this, but this is good sex.
And then they're all
Well, how do we feel about this new information?
He's the most obnoxious man almost ever conceivable.
Yeah. If he does this a lot, you have to figure some of the people that are on their road crew are gotta be tired of it by now.
Yeah,
Do you think he says the same bit every time?
probably. He's narcissist. He thinks he's hilarious no matter what.
feel very good and they start
They
to
have a
be
ball.
terrific. Now, on the stage, when you are on the stage, that's all right. I did say that, so I don't mind when people mimic me, especially famous people like you. If it's in good taste, it's
Absolutely.
great.
Good taste.
I mean, she does talk about sex, so I guess making a joke about carrying around a big cucumber it isn't too terrible of a thing to pretend she's saying. I guess one could consider that in good taste. Like, where's the limit, though? When would you consider it bad taste? Well, I mean, probably. I think she's Jewish, so maybe something anti-Semitic would be in bad. That would be in bad taste. So maybe that's what she's thinking of. Still, with the sexual thing, it's hard to know where the line is. Although she doesn't like rape, so that would be bad. Okay. So far, Dr. Ruth seems like a fairly reasonable person.
Let me ask you something. How does it feel? Because what I'm interested in sometimes is the psychology of people like you, superstars.
Oh boy.
Just stop complimenting him.
But we might get to hear something really narcissistic in a moment. But you're right, she should stop complimenting it. It's terrible.
Once, let's say on the road, once here you perform in front of 20,000 people. And then afterwards, after the partying, and let's say 2 in the morning, it doesn't matter what time, then Gene is alone with Gene. Let's suppose that at that particular time you don't have a woman with you. This kind of transition, how do you do that? How do you...
Okay, how much money would you put on that he's going to say he masturbates? Or is that not cool? Do we think that would he think that's lame?
He probably would think it's lame.
You know what? I will not put money on this because gambling is wrong.
say to yourself, okay, right now I'm just myself. I'm not performing. I have to look in the mirror and I have to be with myself. Is that difficult?
I don't think that part isn't the difficult part. If there's a transition that happens, it's before you get up on stage.
Gene Simmons. You know, I love being with me. I'm awesome. It's when I have to be in front of people I hate.
There's a sort of a quantum leap in your adrenaline in your body, and you become a larger person on stage. The audience does that to you naturally. Getting off the stage is a gradual thing. Once you get off stage, that adrenaline takes a while to come down. It is true that the tendency for most people in front of the media is to believe all the stuff you read about yourself, in which case...
The good stuff.
Well, the good stuff and the bad stuff, unfortunately. Some people really believe, you know,
Yes.
he plays badly or he's all ugly or whatever.
Sounds like he's taking a crack at his critics. Seriously, Tommy Wiseau Perfect casting.
It would be sort
It
of.
would be
I
amazing.
would love to see Tom Rizzo stomp around in those dragon boots. I need to see.
I mean, of course, they've got to do the Dr. Ruth scene in the movie. Tommy Wiseau talking with Dr. Ruth about cucumbers.
And people start believing that. So if you're not careful, you can hurt yourself. And a lot of famous people do. A lot of people
that's
hurt
really a
themselves.
concern for psychologists like myself. Now, you are going on the road for a couple of months now.
For another 5-month tour.
How do you manage to do that? Every night in another place?
It's not difficult. For me, I don't have a sense about things. I don't care if I have a home here or a home there. It doesn't matter to me. Home is where I am. So being in a different city every night has no effect on me at all. What happens?
Okay, so he thinks he's funny. I don't know if you caught that, but when he said it has no effect on me at all, he did a twitch with his mouth. Guess he's making a little bit. Although the question is also, is he a psychopath or does it have an effect on him?
Yeah, I see the twitching. But what does happen?
He has confirmed it is a joke.
Okay.
He has confirmed it was a joke.
Every city that I go to, I'm surrounded by the same people, my family. In other words, the touring group, the guys in the band, the road crew.
They're a very dysfunctional family.
This is probably, if you stop, the movie that he's promoting came out in '86, so this is like mid-'80s Kiss, so like they're on their like 5th lineup already. He's talking about their family.
Wow. So a lot of people have been fired or quit at this point.
Yeah, a lot.
Whew. Gene Simmons is a tough patriarch.
I know the same people, and you really get treated like a king. People carry your luggage, limousines pick you up.
Very nice.
My instrument isn't even tuned.
All things that have probably not helped with his inflated ego.
He's been famous for over a decade at this point, because like, this is 85, 86. Like Kiss's first record came out like like mid-70s at some point.
Now he's just an entitled douche.
Yeah, not like any semblance of who he was before Kiss got famous is gone. It has been gone for quite a while.
I don't tune it. Somebody else tunes it for me.
And you trust them?
Oh.
Even with your instrument?
He don't even tune his own instruments.
I mean, bands do bring guitar techs on tour.
Oh, I guess that's fair.
And that's part of their job, is restringing the instruments every day. But the fact that he uses that as oh yeah, I'm so famous, people tune my bass for me. It's like he probably couldn't tune his own bass if he wanted to. He's competent as a bassist at best. Like he's got a couple really cool lines, but like then you hear the rest of them and it's just like, buddy, what are we? It's just like play more than 2 notes. you play hard rock, you gotta play more than 2 notes. Be a punk band, you won't play 2 notes.
Believe me.
What about the groupies?
Yes.
Here we go. This is what we thought we were gonna get.
Yep, we finally got to it. Gene Simmons playing it coy. He knew she was gonna ask.
How do you react to that?
Very lovingly and carefully. No.
How do you manage to not be overrun and overwhelmed?
One is selective. One is careful. But it's really strange that before I ever picked up a guitar, I always used to dream of, being up on stage and being mobbed and stuff. It happens.
And when it happens, I actually...
The music is secondary for Gene Simmons. He's the means to an end. He just wants to be famous.
Yeah. And have women throw them at themselves at him.
Yeah.
He's what the Red Pillars call a high value man. Because that's the whole theory. You gotta make yourself high value so that you won't have to go looking for women. They'll come to you. That's Gene Simmons, original Red Pillar. You heard it here.
Yeah, Gene Simmons having like a manosphere kind of podcast.
Oh God. Oh God. Let's not, I hope no one ever gives him that idea. Oh God. If he ever gets a divorce, it might happen. Especially if she takes a lot of his money.
Part of it feels good.
It's wonderful. Whether or
I
not
like when somebody's honest and says that
it's
you enjoy
great.
that.
Of course I do.
Are you ever going to get married and have children?
Is this a proposal?
No. I'm married.
Oh, I see.
You're much too young. I have 2 grown children. Are you getting married?
I don't think I ever will. No.
No.
What? It's probably not surprising that he thought that at this point. Wait, is he married to his kids?
Yeah, he is now. Like they made a big show about not being married for a long time. Like, oh, we're not married, we're happy. You're married and you're not happy. So see, we're smart and you're dumb. And then I think Gene did an infidelity, and that's what that sex tape was. And then she threatened to leave him if, and that's probably why he married her. And this is all relatively recent.
Hilarious. So he was cheating in that video?
Yeah.
But it looked terrible. Like, imagine, like, oh my God, imagine cheating and it's that kind of bad. Good Lord. That's actually hilarious. That is hilarious. Threw it away for nothing, Gene. Threw it away for nothing.
No.
It's not really for me. I don't believe everybody should get.
He threw it away to have sex with a woman. I mean, he didn't throw it away. He married her. You threw away being single and living with your kid's mom to get married. But you did it to have sex with a person who wouldn't look you in the face while you were fucking. What? These goddamn.
Get married. And I know enough about myself to know that on my wedding night, I'll probably be with the maid in the closet or something.
Oh, that will be sad.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
I just know on my wedding night, I'll be with the maid in the closet or something. At least he is self-aware enough at this point to be like, yeah, no, I just like fucking too many different women to marry.
And children?
I have none that I know of, no.
No.
That he knows of. The girls all took the money. I don't know if they actually spent it on an abortion or not.
But that you might change your mind.
I doubt
Eventually.
it. I really doubt it. I know every.
If only someone had bet him money. If Dr. Ruth had bet him like $1 million right now, he would have had to give Dr. Ruth $1 million when he had kids.
Everybody goes, oh, you made such a good daddy, and all, you know.
Do we believe that for even a second?
No.
I mean, I guess it's possible that some of his deluded fans might have said that to him. But there is nothing about Gene Simmons that says, this man is father material. I don't see it.
It's not for me. I don't like the sound of babies crying. I really
they
don't.
grow up after a while. They don't stay so small.
Yeah,
all
but for the
time.
first 5 or 6 years.
That's true. It's difficult.
Not for me.
Okay, I do wish you lots.
You think he hired a nanny?
Oh, definitely. And he was on the road for a lot of that too, probably.
Maybe that's why maybe kids prompted some reunion tours, you know? It's like, oh God, another baby. I don't want to be around for that. I know. KISS is touring again. Someone look up these dates. Cross-reference them. KISS reunion tours, babies being born.
So good luck, and I do thank you very much for a superstar like Gene Simmons to be on my show. That's terrific. Thank you. Thank you.
We'll be right back to take some more phone calls and answer viewer mail, so stay where you are.
Wow.
Don't you feel wicked being in my bedroom? I think that little blonde...
Here on Lifetime.
Oh, this is on a Lifetime channel?
We're back with the Dr. Ruth Show. I thought that was
That
interesting with Gene
explains
Simmons. It sounded like you wanted to get him married, but no, he's probably not.
But maybe he walks out of here and he thinks, maybe she's right, maybe I ought eventually to settle down. He was a nice...
Decades later, Gene Simmons be like, God damn it, Dr. Ruth cursed me. She's the reason I've had kids.
This guy.
Very
For a
interesting.
superstar, for a rock star, he was
Love
a
those
very nice
boots,
guy.
too. Zebra boots. We get a lot of mail, and maybe we should answer one of the letters. This is from a man in California. He says, Dear Doctor...
Incredible.
You guys
Oh,
sort of give off a satanic kind of image.
Oh, yeah.
True?
Does this guy look like the devil?
No,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
not anymore.
Last time I saw the...
For those just listening, the YouTube autoplay started a Howard Stern interview with him. So this would be from the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
Yeah, 90s Kiss is terrible. I said it. Fucking Revenge is not that good. I don't know why everybody's like, the best Kiss album without the makeup on now.
Okay, so that was actually kind of incredible at a couple key moments. The knowledge that this movie exists.
Yeah.
Actually, wait, hold on. Before we go, let's pull up the trailer. Fuck it. Let's pull up the trailer. Never Too Young to Die trailer. It's gotta be on there somewhere. I keep clicking on the wrong.
Yeah, Kiss fans are very thorough, so it's got to be somewhere. Just because someone from Kiss is in it.
Okay, let's see what we got here. I don't know if this trash can cinema thing is the original trailer, is on the original trailer, or if it's part of the YouTube channel that's showing the trailer. But if it's the actual film studio, then we get the idea. They know what they are.
What happened?
We had visitors.
Visitors? What were they after?
A disc.
Elusive disc. Damn. Any idea who could be behind this?
Ragnar.
Ragnar. I thought...
What? Who the does Ragnar sound right? Like Ragnar Redbeard? What's going on here? Here's Gene Simmons. Clearly Gene Simmons as the is Gene Simmons as the hermaphrodite.
Thought he disappeared years ago.
Yeah, well, he's reappeared, and guess what? He's performing a nightclub act.
I'm gonna poison your water supply for gold.
So he's like the bad guy in this movie?
Wow.
Oh God. Oh God. He's gonna poison the what? What the?
He's gonna poison the water supply for gold.
What in the hell?
For ransom, for jewels, for money. Slight glitch. Someone has stolen our disc. Get me Stargrove! I want Stargrove! Blanche Stargrove.
Stargrove? Did this script start out as a sci-fi movie and then like it just became less and less science fiction as they wrote it? Like what the like Ragnar? I thought his name was Velvet.
I think they think it's like that's his cover, so no one knows who he really is. I don't know.
Like what the and then now I get John Stamos and two guys in wrestling outfits. Okay.
Stargrove.
So what would it be?
How about a lube job?
What? Wait, is there a drink called a lube job?
I don't know.
Because like otherwise the like is he asking her for a sexual act or a drink? Hold on. What do you think about these punks here? What do you think about
It's confusing.
What do you want?
Fork over some ram cheap.
What is seriously, what year does this take place in? 2022? Like what? I'm sorry, the 1980s version of 1922 of 2022. Like what is going on?
Bitch, we would tenderize your butt.
What? What is he threatening to do here? Like, are they gonna spank her or bang her in the butt? Wait, is that Chastity? Oh, that poor girl.
The hell did I inherit?
The name's Stargrove.
Thought secret agents weren't really ever supposed to care for anyone.
It's gone way beyond that for me.
Wait, which one of them is Stargrove?
I thought John Stamos.
I mean, it has to be because the music played when he came on, so like it has to be him. So I'm just confused. John Stamos looks like he's having a panic attack. Like he's just like, oh god, oh god, a naked woman. Oh, I've never seen one of these before. Oh, what do I do? What do I do with the proper reaction? How old am I? Such a terrible cut.
What kind of designer drug do you want?
So you see, you're never too young to die. Never too young. You're never too young.
Hey, it's the line for the title of the movie.
They said the name of the movie in the movie.
Vanity.
I just really...
You're never too young.
Lazenby. George, what happened to you? Okay, Robert Englund.
You're never too young to die. Never too young. You're never too young to die.
I mean, it's true. You are never too young to die. Okay, wow. What?
I need to see that now.
Yeah, no, we need to see that sometime. I assume you have to get up earlier. I'd watch it now.
Yeah.
But god damn. All right. So what are our concluding thoughts on this video?
Oh,
Gene Simmons out here. I mean, honestly, it was worth it just to find out this terrible movie exists. Like so many moments in that trailer, all I could think was, what were they thinking? Oh my god. Amazing. Gene Simmons, you're blowing my mind with just everything about that interview. Somehow very expected, but also still full of surprises. See, what was there? I feel like there was other surprises besides the movie. But that was definitely, I feel like, the big one. Let's see here. The Dr. Ruth, the fact that he does a Dr. Ruth impersonation, a little surprising.
Not surprising that he watched Dr. Ruth, though.
No, yeah, at some point he was probably like, okay, I love having sex. Some of these groupies have been telling me that I'm bad at it. Let's watch some Dr. Ruth. I would have sex with this old woman. Yeah, definitely. I bet she would know exactly how to handle a penis.
Yeah, I just feel like with Gene Simmons, it's not so much the act of having sex, it's the rush he gets from somebody wanting to have sex with him.
I mean, that's completely possible. That could be where he's really getting the most brain chemicals from. It's like, oh yeah.
She wants to have sex because I am Gene Simmons of KISS. I am very rich and very famous.
All of the women want to have sex with me. I'm Gene Simmons. Excuse me, I have to go beg my girlfriend not to leave me because I had terrible sex with a woman on camera. Out of all the hundreds of times I cheated on her, I was smart enough not to film it. But not so much anymore. Like, oh my God, I can't show you that video because then I wouldn't be able to put this video on YouTube. But it is very sad. It is a very sad sex tape. So just so you know, America and the rest of the world, which I'll tell you this, I got an email the other day from Apple Podcast to inform me that my podcast was ranked number 73 in Morocco.
Wow.
So I got into the top 75 in Morocco. I don't know what Morocco people like about my show, but I hope they keep listening. I don't know. I hope they keep listening. Is what I'm saying. I don't know what that's about, but it's cool with me. All right. Well, I hope you were as amused by this as we were. If you enjoy my podcast, please do like and subscribe wherever you're listening. But also, it really helps me out if you go over and like and subscribe at Spotify too. And also, please go subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. Yeah. Anything else you want to say, Gato?
No, not really. I'm still processing that movie trailer.
I know.
It's a lot to take in there.
There was a lot to take in there. John Stamos's description seems like he's pretty on the money.
Yeah.
John Stamos, he knew what he was talking about when he described the film. All right. Well, thank you for watching. Have a wonderful whatever it is wherever you are. All right. Adios, people. Say goodbye, God.
Bye, everybody.
That's right, everybody, because we are inclusive.